Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know how we do. Before we get started, we got to shout you out. Give you appreciation for stopping by and watching the video. But while you're here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. And if you're following me, make sure you follow my TikTok and follow me on Blue Sky because I use that Twitter joint. I watch y'all fool around. But, if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow the Yaush Network. Follow me over there, and we good. You figure deal me? But we are back with some more Shedeur Sanders, and people are still on this a week later on why Shedeur failed in the 2025 NFL draft. And this one right here is kind of crazy because it gives a different perspective and it has a bunch of anonymous scouts and coaches in here. Only one coach gives his name, only one ex player gives their name in all of these remarks and all these opinions. So, y'all ready to dive into it? Let's go. So, we got this new thing on Shedeur, and it's crazy that people have so much to say. This is a nice written article by Tyler Dragon, and I want to share this with y'all because it's interesting. And this is his opinion piece, and he talked to a lot of scouts and former players in the NFL, and they gave a lot of opinions on Shedeur and why they think he fell in the draft. And I want y'all to pay attention now, and then we'll talk about it when it's all over with. Y'all ready to get started on this thing? Let's go. Why did Shedeur Sanders fall in the NFL draft? There's no simple answer. This is Tyler Dragon. This was written on April 28th, and I decided to go back and grab this one. But here we are. There are many layers to why quarterback Shedeur Sanders had a precipitous drop in the 2025 NFL draft. The quarterback was forecast by many to go in the first round after he set Colorado single season records for passing yards, completion attempts, touchdowns, completion percentage, and quarterback ratings last year. Damn, that boy good. Yet, Sanders didn't hear his name called until the Cleveland Browns selected him in the fifth round of the 2025 NFL draft, ending a lengthier than expected wait. Show enough longer than anybody expected it to be, but it is what it is, and we are here now. And Shedeur is going to show out in Cleveland and I end up with the starting job, even with the production and the talent. There was a question after he tumbled down the draft boards all the way to Saturday afternoon. Why did Sanders slide to round 5? USA Today Sports spoke with several individuals around the NFL to investigate why Sanders fell to the 144th pick overall in the fifth round of the draft. The 144. That's a hell of a number, the 144. Why did Shedeur Sanders fall in the draft? Overall ability as an NFL quarterback. This is number one. Despite Sanders' success at Jackson State and Colorado, many NFL teams didn't view him as a top quarterback prospect. He's a really good quarterback, but doesn't have the traits that jump off the charts. Former NFL All-Pro running back and current NFL Network analyst Maurice Jones-Drew told USA Today Sports. Doesn't mean he's not good, but he's not the fastest and doesn't have the strongest arm. That's Maurice Jones-Drew. That is the only name you will get in this entire article, which is crazy to me. But Drew said he doesn't have all the traits, but it doesn't mean that he's not good. He's not the fastest, and he doesn't have the strongest arm. Arm strength can grow. You can always add more arm strength. That comes with weightlifting and more throwing. So that's easily to overcome. Arm strength and mobility are considered two of Sanders' main weaknesses when evaluating him as an NFL quarterback prospect. He's completed just 47% of his passes beyond 20 yards, 68% of his passes between 10 and 19 yards at Colorado last season. He also completed 54% of his passes when under pressure last year. Y'all know all of those percentages are wrong. Correct? Are we correct? For a person that averaged 74% pass completion in college, do you believe any of those percentages that I just told you? No. That means the information off the top is flawed. It's wrong, skewed. Sanders was sacked 94 times in 2 seasons at Colorado, the most in FPS during that span. See what I'm saying? They come out with the wrong numbers already. Numbers just backwards, just wrong. How are you going to critique somebody and then give percentages and your percentages are completely wrong? But I digress. Let's keep going. The interview process. There were several reports leading up to the draft that criticized Sanders. Draft interview process. CBS Sports reported that Sanders spiraled down the draft, reflecting how he carried himself during the process. The Ringer reported Sanders had a poor interview with the New York Giants, a team that ultimately selected quarterback Jackson Dart in the first round. I'm not going to get into that, Giants general manager Joe Scone told reporters Friday after reports surfaced about Sanders' unfavorable meeting. An anonymous NFL assistant coach told the NFL Network his meeting with Sanders was the worst formal interview he ever had. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And when the juice had some flaws, the squeeze of managing the personality and dad equal is not being worth it in a lot of instances. That sentence just didn't make no sense. But what he was trying to say, dealing with Shedeur and dealing with his dad, is not worth all that trouble. And now, like I've told y'all in many interviews, everybody's scared of prime. They all are scared of prime. And that's Shedeur's biggest flaw, being Deion's son. An NFL agent told USA Today Sports the agent spoke on conditions of anonymity because they don't represent Sanders. So what? You don't represent you? Putting information out in a column. Put your name on it. Say what you said. Furthermore, Sanders declined to play at the East-West Shrine Bowl and elected not to participate in drills at the NFL Combine. Each event can impact a prospect's draft status, just like I told y'all. He wasn't humble. He didn't do what they wanted him to do. It is important to remember that it's still a job interview when going through the pre-draft process, and as clubs are evaluating a potential face of the franchise, it's important for a quarterback to look the part and present himself in a certain way. An NFL agent told USA Today Sports. They spoke of conditions of anonymity because they do not represent Sanders. What does that have to do with anything? You don't have to be anonymous because you don't represent him. You got something to say. Put your name on it. Sanders' own admission shows he may have second thoughts about how he handled the entirety of the draft process. Quote, I feel like in life, there's always a way I can improve. I'm able to improve. And some things that I did that seemed right at the time, I could have went about it in a different way, he said. And that's always true. Hindsight is 20/20 though. He did what he did at that time. Lack of traditional agent. This is 3. Sanders doesn't have a traditional certified NFL agent. His Hall of Fame father, Deion, guides him. His father has a strong presence in his life. And not to mention, he has been through this process. I think a lot of people are intimidated by that. Former NFL defensive end Hugh Douglas said to the USA Today Sports, that is true. They are scared of Prime. I told y'all that. A lot of these coaches didn't want to draft Shedeur because if they started screwing up, they were scared that Prime would take their job. And Prime told y'all, I ain't coming to the NFL unless I'm coaching both of my sons. Not one, both. And Prime said he got his extension done for Colorado, so a lot of these coaches would get off of that. So it wouldn't affect Shedeur. So they would know that he was going to be at Colorado. But here we are. A prominent NFL agent told USA Today Sports that Sanders' choice not to have a traditional agent is self-serving. They spoke on the condition of anonymity because they didn't represent the quarterback. What's up with these anonymous people, man? Y'all need to quit being anonymous and put your name on it. If you're going to speak on it, put your name on it. A traditional agent could have informed Sanders of his draft stock or helped him improve his standing. But Prime is talking to all these people. They getting the information. Or are they lying to him? One of the two. Because Prime talking to these coaches, he got scouts in his building every day. And I'm sure when they came there for the showcase and when they went to the East-West Shrine Bowl, he talked to all those people that showed up. But, you know, that's how people do. Excuses. It's worth nothing. There are other NFL players who don't have traditional agents. For example, two-time NFL MVP Lamar Jackson represents himself, as do 10-time Pro Bowl Bobby Wagner, to name a few notable players. That's right. You don't need an agent. You don't have to have an agent. People just didn't like that Prime was representing Shedeur. Well, was with Shedeur. And if Prime didn't like it or he knew something was up, he'd tell Shedeur, hey, this is what they're trying to do. So you need to move like this and move like that. And that's what they didn't like. Like father, like son. Deion Sanders effect. Deion Sanders is regarded as the best cornerback in NFL history. He's a Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time first team All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, and was the recipient of the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award in 1994. He was one of the most charismatic, flashy, and confident athletes in league's history too. Damn right. Prime had that swag. Prime bought that thing with him. The same charisma, flash, and confidence has allowed him into his coaching career. It's part of the reason why he's always in the limelight. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Shedeur harbors a similar personality. Shedeur has moxie. He's loud, he's arrogant, he's flashy, and he's proud. A college football coach told USA Today Sports they spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the sensitive matter. Come on, dog. If you're going to talk about the man, you got to put your name on it. Why was Shedeur Sanders projected to be a top draft pick by pundits? Sometimes perception isn't reality. One NFL agent told USA Today Sports that many reporters have about 4 or 5 sources and oftentimes don't have a great sense of how the entire NFL views draft prospects. In terms of Shedeur's pre-draft projection, there's a lot of amateur scouting in the media, and there's a lot of misinformation that comes from clubs and agents. Given Shedeur's notoriety, there is a great probability of misinformation because it's low-hanging fruit for information seekers. Another NFL agent told USA Today Sports the agent spoke on the conditions of anonymity because he doesn't represent Sanders. I wish y'all quit with this bullshit. It's on anonymity because he doesn't represent Sanders. The consensus was this year's quarterback draft wasn't strong. Several evaluators pegged Sanders as a second-round prospect. Teams differ in their draft evaluations and have contrasting boards. I can't speak to why the market priced him the way it did, Browns general manager Andrew Berry said to the reporters on Saturday. We had our own internal evaluation in terms of how we viewed the skill set and the quality of a player. My take, which is the right. It's apparent there were several factors on and off the field that contributed to when Sanders was drafted. Sanders doesn't have the strongest arm, nor is he the very mobile quarterback. Despite those limitations, he's an accurate passer when projected and a good distributor of the football. His records at Colorado validate that. Plus, he was viewed as a leader amongst his teammates. I ranked him as the second best quarterback prospect in this year's draft beyond number one overall pick, Cam Ward. Sanders' perceived arrogance shouldn't be criticized as long as he has respect for others. However, poor interviews can negatively impact a player's draft status. It is a necessity for all athletes to have some level of confidence and or arrogance to be successful. A big part of being a top athlete is psychological. I know this as a former athlete. The Sanders name does come with notoriety, but that can be challenged and can be channeled as a positive under the proper guidance. Sometimes a team and an environment can determine a player's level of success in the NFL. Sanders is in a situation where he can earn the starting job in year one, given the state of the Browns quarterback. The Browns enter the next phase of the offseason without a clear-cut QB1. Aside from Sanders, they have Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and rookie third-round pick Dylan Gabriel, and an injured Deshaun Watson on their roster. It wasn't necessarily the plan going into the weekend to select two quarterbacks, but we do believe in best player available. We do believe in positional value. We didn't necessarily expect him to be available in the fifth round, Berry said. We love adding competition to every position room, and adding him to compete with these guys that are already in there, we felt like that was the opportune thing to do. The good news for Sanders, he's got an opportunity to prove his naysayers wrong and the opportunity from Cleveland, even if that came in the fifth round instead of the first. I am extremely grateful for the opportunity throughout everything, Sanders said to the reporters after being drafted by Cleveland. I don't ever focus on the negative or even think about the negative because the positive happens so fast. That's a tenfold. Now we're going to get back. Let's go back up here and look at these percentages that they were talking about. Right here, he said speaking of Shedeur Sanders, completed just 47% of his passes beyond 20 yards and 68% of his passes between 10 and 19 yards at Colorado last season. He also completed 54% of his passes under pressure last year. Now, y'all believe that? Because I don't. Because look at here. Guess who got Shedeur's completion percentage? Ha, ha, ha. Now, y'all think those numbers right? On the 9 route, and that's just a go route. The 9 route is a straight go route. He completed 64.3% of his passes. The corner is 80%. The post is 70%. The out route is 80%. The dig is 86%. The comeback is the lowest percentage he has thrown. It's 40%. Curl route, 96%. Out in the flat, 100. Quick slant, 76. A screen, 98. Check down, 95. Other, 79%. Now that is a man that throws for 74% throughout his college career. And you telling me, I don't know where they got those percentages from, but those percentages wasn't Shedeur. That wasn't Shedeur at all. I don't know where they got that crap from. But all we know is the man that was drafted 144 by the Cleveland Browns in this draft, Mr. Shedeur Sanders, is sitting up there waiting on his time, counting his days, and rookie Training camp starts this week. And once it starts, it might be hell to pay. Because Shedeur might show out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all that and why everybody has to be anonymous. But we're not done with the Shedeur stuff. We got plenty more coming. So y'all stick around. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the post notification bell so you'll know when your boy is dropping all this heat. And you never know when I might click on the live and just go live and talk to y'all like we do. You know what I'm saying? When time allows. Because you know, when I go live, it might be 2 hours before we jump up off that thing because we be having a lot to talk about. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this article and all of these anonymous people that got something to say that won't put their name on. I'm going to get out of here, man. Y'all have a good day. We ain't done. We got plenty to go because we going to jump into the Chris Carter crap next. On the next video, Chris Carter, we got to get into that because he was talking a lot of trash. And y'all, if y'all don't know who Chris Carter was, Chris Carter got in a lot of trouble in the NFL and in Ohio State. But that's neither here nor there. We out, man. Y'all have a good day. Peace.